Martin's shave tests. I'm back. It's the 3rd, Tuesday the 3rd. I had a little bit of trouble with my phone. I think I've got it sorted. If this doesn't work, like the last video didn't work on the honing, which I did this morning. Anyway, just very briefly, I thought I'd do an experiment. This is a very fine Australian razor. This, of course, is the S.K.COLLIN and Company, Proserpine, Old Australia. I wasn't in love with the edge. It's a lovely quality razor, but the edge wasn't quite me. So what I did today, earlier, I took this very kind example given to me in an exchange by Mark, and this one is a Scottish dual hone stone, which you may have seen me use before, but I've got a couple of things to add to to what I did. So there it is. It's a blue Dalmor, and on the other side, supposedly, it's a Tam O'Shanter. While I was honing this morning, I couldn't quite understand why the feel was very medium feel on both stones. So what I've done is I've brought out my other very ancient Tam O'Shanter, which I bought the other day. Now that one is a very old Tam O'Shanter, and it's completely different to Mark's. Absolutely, totally different. Different mine, different generation, different extraction method from the rock, who knows. But that one, I call that at the very best a medium grit stone. About the same, quite honestly, as the Dalmor Blue. But this particular ancient Tam O'Shanter in its original box has got the lovely speckly finish and is very, very smooth to the touch. So this one I'm going to call a Tam O'Shanter fine finisher, and Mark's I'm going to call that at the best a medium finisher. Totally different feel. Anyway, be that as it may, I still went ahead and I still used this little razor, taped the back, and I honed a new edge. So I thought, okay, let's just see the quality of these stones. So there's my strops, as you can see. What I did was I worked off a very, very, very fine slurry on Mark's Tam O'Shanter, after using what I think is the same grit, by the way, the Dalmor Blue. Strop, still wouldn't hanging hair test. So what I did was I used this fellow, which of course, as you can probably see, is a canvas, nice quality canvas strop with the green crox, chromium oxide on it. 20 strokes, and then back to the normal Kaniyama canvas after using obviously the back. This is a very nice strop actually. I was very grateful to Gary. I got this from Gary some time back, Mr. Haywood, and my sensei. Anyway, I then of course did very few laps on the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Kaniyama, which is of course the pony leather, high polish. So after doing that, it hanging hair tested, an absolute treat. Let me just show you what I mean, if I can. Yes, I can. So here we have a very unusual, rare Moroccan hair. And there you go. I had my hair cut, as you can probably tell, at my friend's barber shop in Littlehampton this morning. So just to prove a point, hopefully this will work. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it. Don't know if you can see it. I can hear it anyway, chaps. So all the way along, perfect hanging hair. Yeah, and the proof of a truly good hanging hair test is, if I can reverse the hair in my fingers, you should be able, I'll use another fresh hair. Yeah, you should be able to hanging hair test both the lengths of the hair so that they both have a perfect click. That just clicked, that just clicked, that just clicked. Turn the hair around. Now we're going with the scales in the hair, not into the scales. So this is the proper test. Yeah, it still cuts. Not quite as easily, but yeah. Yep. So that just goes to prove sometimes you do need to use the green chromium oxide, which you can get anywhere, really cheap, wonderful stuff. Put it on a decent canvas, as this is, a decent canvas strop, and away you go. That'll usually put any slightly doubtful edge to rights. Very good for restoring and reviving. Shouldn't have needed to have done it. Anyway, you could see the difference. I won't bore you to tears. So here's the razor to be tested. And as a comparison, I've got another wonderful razor, but this one came from Marcel in Belgium. And what a skilled man. This is a high quality blade, but he put the scales on. Aren't they gorgeous? What a craftsman. Marcel, I hope you're watching this. Anyway, this is a particularly fine blade. This, of course, is a Colibri, and it's got the little eagle on it, so it's German. But here's what makes it interesting. I'm not going to go on much longer, don't worry. This is quite clearly on the tang. It says forged vid a Solingen. So meaning it was actually made in Solingen, but it was made for the French market. And I've got a French box for it. So just to prove the difference in quality of steel, let's try the hanging hair test on this one. Oh my God, it rings like a bell. Bigger blade, more hollow ground. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous. Just to prove the point, let's go around the other way. And we'll try the other end of the hair. Yeah. Not as noisy and not quite as easy to cut because it's going with the scales and not into the scales of the hair. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and get on with the shave because I can't believe this. I only shaved 2 days ago. I'm getting another moustache. So quickly whack on a little bit of warm water. I'll alter the angle of this phone somewhat. Very good with these things. And do a quick shave. But rather than get totally addicted, as I'm fast becoming, to the wonderful Eric soaps, I'm going to use something totally different today. I'm going to use a palm olive shave cream. So let's see how that works. I use my old trusty brush. I haven't got time to soak boar's bristle and horse hair, and I don't really want to go out and groom my pet badger or whatever you do. So a little bit of that squeezed onto the bristles. Ha ha ha. Now I shall use a trick. Then using a little tiny bit of that, as in Jacques Dapper Shave's trick, which is so useful to us all. Pre-shave. And as my ancient bristles are getting stiffer and stiffer by the minute, which is another reason, guys, for taking up straight razor shaving. My goodness me, it does increase the hair growth and the vitality, and of course the hand-to-eye coordination, the skills, which of course is another reason for taking up straight razor shaving. It's actually to increase your skill level in life. Rather nondescript odour, it's a sort of a soap. So I'm not going to say much about that. It's lathering up extremely well though, look at that. So this is a palm olive. Very good name, palm olive. Yeah, that's going to do me nicely. Without further ado. So, golden rule. Get your fingers nice and dry, or at least measurably damp. Let's go and use the now new Dalmore Tam O'Shanter stroke crox edge, because I think it's more crox than anything else now. Chrome oxide. Yep, that's improved. Yeah, I'll probably work on this one a little bit more. As an experiment, I'm going to leave the moustache area just to see in a couple more days how much it's going to grow. Yeah, that's improved the edge. So thank you, Mark's Stones, even though the grit on the Tam O'Shanter was not that good. However, that's working very, very well. That's another trick, of course. Don't try and wash your blade in the sink. You can have an accident one day and it's going to chip your blade and it's going to wreck your edge. So that's one side with the little modern Australian, and this is the German. And I know which is going to be better. You can hear it. Now this is not a Tam O'Shanter edge. This is a 20K edge. I'm reliably told. Put on by Marcel. And all I've done is refreshed it again on the green chrome oxide strop. By gone that sharp. In the nicest sense of the word sharp. Yeah. For those starting out in our wonderful field of straight razor shaving, the bigger blades do go around the bends easier. I wouldn't recommend using my current favourites, the little 5/8. I would say you're actually better off with a big blade. I learned on a 6/8. And then I went on to Philharmonicas and all the other exotics. Yeah, even this one could be improved. I do believe in improvement. However, just as a little comparison, one more time, let's quickly go against the grain again, but this time with a Prosperine, this beautiful little Australian job. This is one of the best value brand new razors you can possibly get. Handmade in Australia by Mr. Miller, by Mr. Collin, do beg his pardon, S.K.COLLIN, Prosperine, old Australia. Beautiful stamp. One of the most attractive stamps I've ever seen. And I'm a big one on looking at tradition, because I've been a military antique restorer all my working life. I know quality. Yeah, that's actually just as good. Yeah, it's a fine little razor, this. Heartily recommend them. And then you put on your own edge as you feel. This edge is adequate. I think it could be improved a tiny bit, but not a lot. Let's go now this wonderful big Colibri, and I would say the Colibri at the moment just beats it. Yeah, just a little bit. There's something very comforting about a big blade as well. Yep, and against and across. Well, it already cut it all, hadn't it? So big strokes or little strokes makes no difference. Yeah, very nice blade, very nice edge. Anyway, guys, this is just a bit of a long chat, 15 minutes, I do beg your pardon. This goes to show, which I've always maintained, is with natural stones, they vary far, far more than synthetics. If you want reliability, go for a consistency. Sorry, wrong word. If you want consistency, do go for either a natural stone you can really trust, which you've played with many times, or go for a synthetic. Look at that. Smooth as silk. Buffing passes. Yeah. Very nice too. Anyway, guys, that's probably enough from me. So just review what I've been rabbiting on about, which is natural stones and how they vary. There is a really old, beautiful quality, natural Tam O'Shanter Scottish hone stone. Very little used. It's still got about 300 years worth of use left in it. It's got all its original labels, as you can see. It's smooth as smooth as smooth. I've only used this once and it was perfection. Whereas, sadly, the later one, which is in a little red cardboard box, that one, although I would say it's a very fine medium stone, it just doesn't compare. So there's the Tam O'Shanter, slightly more modern. And that is a very nice Dalmore, actually. The Dalmore is first rate, but it's a medium, so both these surfaces are medium. Whereas this one, the antique one, just with your bare finger, you feel the difference. So beware some natural stones. You've got to sort of, well, basically suck it and see. But for a quick medium hone stone, very, very nice. But for a fine finisher, even with careful stropping afterwards, it wouldn't pass the hanging hair test, which in my books means you can't shave with it. So that's good. I'm leaving this for the time being. It's only 2 days, it's coming back. Help! Anyway, guys, thanks so much for subscribing. I hope some of my little additional bits were vaguely interesting. I'm just trying to spread the word to get people back into straight razor shaving, which is the superior shave. Anyway, chaps, Martin's Shave Tests. Bye for now. Thanks for subscribing.